Bill Nye, a science guy, has kept us hooked on the latest stuff and its mysteries for years. He got us curious about space and its puzzles, showing us how big it is all around us. Now, Bill Nye is talking about the newest pictures we got from the James Webb Telescope. These images let us peek at the universe from over 13 billion years ago, which is changing how we think about the cosmos and life itself. This telescope is seeing all sorts of stuff like planets and galaxies super far away. It's a huge deal for science and a great follow-up to the Hubble Space Telescope. So, what makes these WST images so special, blowing our minds and theories? What does Bill Nye think about them? This sight came about because of years of hard work by NASA's people, launching on Christmas 2021. The telescope got set up without a hitch in the next few months. By the end of June 2022, scientists started spotting lots of galaxies we didn't know about, older and farther than before. Some of these galaxies might have started forming 150 million years before what Hubble found. Also, the telescope can grab enough light from things like exoplanets and stars to figure out what they're made of and where they're going. Bill N says this info is already showing us a lot about what the air is like on planets that are light years away. It makes you wonder if they could have life. One of Hubble's most famous spots has always been the Pillars of Creation in the Eagle Nebula. The telescope could see this thing, but not what was happening inside. But the Webb telescope's infrared image caught it, showing lots of protostars as little red dots in the background of the pillars, clusters of dust and gas each way bigger than our solar system. Bill Nye says these aren't burning hydrogen yet. When enough stuff piles up at the star's center, it gets so dense that hydrogen burning starts, and the temperature jumps to about 2 million degrees C. The colors in the picture show infrared wavelengths, which we can't usually see. Only the blue part is visible. The colors also boost the red radiation because of the protostars. Bill Nye says this image shows not only how good the Webb telescope is for infrared, but also how stars like our sun form. The first exoplanets were found in the 90s. Now, there are over 3,000 of them circling stars far away. We have only gotten direct pictures of a few of them. Because they are so far, they are only detected when they dim the light from their neighbor star. The first direct image of an exoplanet was last September. Identified in 2017 and named KIP 65426b. Scientists used coronagraphs on telescopes to block light from the central star along with 2 of the Webb telescope's cameras, a series of filters and other equipment to look at it. It also has a couple things that make it easier to see. Besides its infrared, this planet is super far from its star, like 100 times the distance between Earth and the Sun. It's a huge gas giant, about 12 times the size of Jupiter. Even though the ghost galaxy is hard to see, its brightness can be captured, especially with an infrared camera. The spiral and the stars branching out from the middle show up in the regular view of M74. But a new image from the Webb telescope shows stuff that looks like strands of heat radiating dust and gas coming from a bright center. This image will light up the areas where stars are forming along the galaxy's arms using infrared light. Pictures from Hubble and Webb have been put together to make a cool image that shows parts of the galaxy in both regular and infrared views. The ESA made this image as part of the FANGS project, which uses Hubble, Webb, and some telescopes on the ground to look at 19 galaxies nearby using infrared. With how sharp Webb is and its longer wavelengths, astronomers can spot star-forming areas in galaxies and get good measurements of the size and age of star clusters and the dust floating around in space. In an image of a star called Wolf-Rayet 140 from July, a pattern showed up. But this star also has these wavy rings around it with a square shape. These rings are from big stars that are getting old and have already sent out a lot of hydrogen. The rings are weird shapes because of how WR140 interacts with its little star buddy. The W telescope is made to see the farthest galaxies. In December, some researchers said they found 4 of the oldest galaxies that Webb could see. They were 13.4 billion years old, when the universe was just 350 million years old. These galaxies were very old, like the hundreds of others Webb found. The researchers figured out how old the galaxies were using info to quickly measure each galaxy remoteness. We measure how much light stretches by looking at the redshift of galaxies. The galaxies are bigger than we thought. For the first time, we can find galaxies super far away and see. Meanwhile, the Webb telescope has been checking out a planet circling a star in Virgo, doing one of the biggest studies on planets outside our solar system. The planet's name is WASP 39b, sitting 700 light-years away. It's closer to its star than Mercury is to the Sun. The atmosphere has sulfur and silicates, including sulfur dioxide. Scientists spotted carbon dioxide using 2 of Webb's spectrograms. Let me hear what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. The James Webb Space Telescope JWST is a big deal for space research. It wants to figure out our solar system and exoplanets, as well as the structures that make up our universe. Scientists used the JWST to check out a star 120 light-years away. Doing that, the telescope found carbon-based molecules in the air of a planet, which blew everyone away. This gives us a good look at a planet that's different from anything we have here, and it asks the question of if there are other planets out there. Join us as we get deeper into this planet and show you all the cool details. If you want updates on the universe, subscribe and turn on the bell to stay tuned. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope made a big thing with the exoplanet K2-18b, which is bigger than Earth. This exciting discovery has carbon in its atmosphere. The telescope's research says that K2-18b may be able to habit life. It looks like it has an atmosphere and a surface covered with oceans. Hubble first analyzed what this was like, which enhanced our of it. It is important to say that K2-18b is 120 light-years away. Located in the constellation Leo, it orbits a star named K2-18. This star is in the habitable zone of its neighbors. Planets, which are between the sizes of Earth and Neptune, represent a rare group. Specialists believe those planets could be for searching. The of methane and carbon dioxide, coupled with the of ammonia, reinforces the opinion. Studies have also said that dimethyl sulfide to exist in K2-18b's atmosphere. On Earth, the dimethyl sulfide is marine, but the evidence for this on K2-18b remains, and more will have to be put in. Additional, we'll see if sulfide is real. A researcher says that even if there are things does not that can will lie there. As it is ice covered, it should. Scientists have to the of a planet so they see it. This by is called because from this. Studies show that there has to be to show these. Has that been the will into K2-18b? The telescope like to has been into the R of how so. Is it the so? The Webb telescope is made to see the farthest galaxies in the universe. And last December, researchers said they'd found 4 of the oldest galaxies, seen for the first time by Webb. These galaxies are from 13.4 billion years ago, when the universe was only 350 million years old, or about 2% of what it is now. These 4 galaxies were thought to be super old, like the hundreds of other galaxies Webb has found. The researchers figured out how old the galaxies were as part of a survey, using data from the near-infrared spectrograph to quickly measure how far away the galaxy is. This stretching of light waves, caused by the expanding universe, is measured by how much the light from galaxies shifts toward the red end of the spectrum. The biggest red shift ever measured was 13.2. To them, these galaxies are more than we thought we'd be able to see before the James Webb. Now, for the first time, we can find faraway galaxies with this telescope and then use a special tool to check that they're really that far away. Meanwhile, the Webb telescope has been checking out a planet circling a star in the Virgo group. It's doing one of the most thorough studies of planets outside our solar system. The planet's called WASP 39b, and it's 700 light-years from us. It's about 8 times closer to its star than Mercury is to the Sun. This gas giant, about the size of Saturn, is boiling hot as it circles its star. The air around the planet is full of thick clouds with sulfur and silicates, including sulfur dioxide. Scientists could spot carbon dioxide in the air using 2 of Webb's spectrograms. Now, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is known as the best tool around for studying space. It's mainly looking into the secrets of our solar system and planets outside our solar system, as well as learning about the things that make up our universe and where we fit in. Recently, scientists used the JWST to look at a star 120 light-years from us. The telescope found signs of carbon-based molecules in the air of a planet that might have oceans far, far away. This has blown the minds of space experts. But how did they do it? This find gives us a cool look at a planet that's nothing like the ones in our solar system. It also makes us wonder if there are other places out there where life could exist. Let's go deeper into this planet find and what it means. If you want to keep up with the latest news about the universe, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, share it, and turn on notifications. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has made a big step forward by studying the exoplanet K2-18b, which is about 8 times bigger than Earth. What makes this so amazing? They found carbon stuff like methane and carbon dioxide in the air. The telescope's discovery backs up earlier studies that said K2-18b might be able to support life. It seems to have air full of hydrogen and a surface covered in oceans. The first look at this planet's air was done with NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. This helped us learn a lot about this system. K2-18b is 120 light-years from Earth in the constellation Leo. It circles a cool dwarf star. This star sits inside the zone where planets could have liquid water on their surface. Planets like K2-18b, which are between the sizes of Earth and Neptune, are rare in our solar system because we don't have any like that nearby. The idea that K2-18b has a lot of carbon and air full of hydrogen is interesting to astronomers. Many think planets like this could be perfect for finding life. The presence of methane and carbon dioxide, along with no ammonia, makes scientists think this planet might have an ocean under its hydrogen air. Earlier studies said that dimethyl sulfide, a chemical made by life on Earth, might be in K2-18b's air. On Earth, marine plankton make most of the dimethyl sulfide. But we need more proof that this stuff is really on K2-18b. More views using the JWST telescope should help us see if dimethyl sulfide is actually there in big amounts in K2-18b's air. A researcher from Cambridge said that even though K2-18b is in the habitable zone and has carbon stuff, that doesn't mean life can live there. The planet's size suggests that its core might be covered by a thick layer of high-pressure ice, like Neptune. Also, it has thinner air made of hydrogen, and the surface is covered in oceans. While that might mean liquid water, there's still a chance that these oceans might be too solid or not good enough for life. But scientists have gotten the best look so far at the spectrum of a planet that might be able to have life. This lets them figure out what molecules are in its air. A member of the Cardiff University team said they did this by looking at light from K2-18b's star as it passed through the planet's air. K2-18b is a transiting exoplanet, which means it dims when it moves in front of its star. That's how NASA's K2 mission first found this planet. When this happens, some sunlight shines through the planet's air before hitting space telescopes like the JWST. As sunlight passes through the planet's air, it leaves marks that astronomers can use to tell what gases are there. The research team wants to do more studies using JWST to check their results and get more details about K2-18b's climate. They want to find signs of life on planets that could have it. This could change everything we know about the universe. The JWST has also made other great finds. Astronomers have seen complex carbon molecules that look like smog in a faraway galaxy. This is the earliest we've ever seen these molecules in the universe. Personally, I think this is both amazing and a little scary because these finds are shaking up our view of the cosmos. These molecules, known as aromatic hydrocarbons, were found in a galaxy that formed when the universe was only about 10% of its current age. These carbon molecules, which are in oil and coal on Earth and also in smog, are big and complex. What's amazing is that these complex molecules formed so early after the Big Bang. The light we see from this early galaxy started its trip less than 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang. Our universe is about 13.8 billion years old now. That means we're seeing some of the first stages of the universe. It's even more impressive that the Webb telescope was able to find these complex molecules. If we could look back even further, closer to the Big Bang, could we find even more of these molecules? This brings up some big questions about our science. Before now, we could only say that complex molecules were in old galaxies. We couldn't get a good look at them. But with the Webb telescope, we can and see where these molecules are. It's also a mystery why these molecules are spread out unevenly in the early galaxy SP4-1847. What's really amazing is that this galaxy was already as big as our own, with stars that had made as much carbon and oxygen as the ones in the Milky Way, even though it was only a tenth of the age of our galaxy. As we learn more, we're amazed by how big and complex the universe is. With every find, we get closer to solving the secrets in the stars.